We are bringing you another installment in our summer-long series called New York's Big Bet. We have spoken with several of the developers competing for 3 downstate casino licenses scheduled to be awarded later this year. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the Resorts World proposal out in Queens.
Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy, it's opportunity, it's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers.
That clip you just saw is part of a promotional video that features the rapper and Queens native Nas. The proposal seeks to expand on the existing casino at the Aqueduct Raceway. It's expected to create 5,000 permanent jobs. It includes a $5.5 billion investment and a 7,000-seat entertainment venue. And because this is an expansion of an existing casino, the developers say that their operation could be up and running as soon as July of next year. Joining me now to talk more about this is Robert DeSalvio. He's the president of Genting Americas East, the gaming and hospitality company that owns the existing facility. Welcome to the program. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
My viewers are going to want to know, Nas in that promotional video, is he a partner? Is he a shareholder? Is he a pitch man? What's his role here?
He's actually a good community partner. He's been with us all the way through the application process. He loves Queens, and we're so happy that he joined in with us because he just wants to see the very best for the borough.
Okay, fair enough. Now, your facility already includes casino space that has video poker and blackjack, lots of slots, which is where I understand where casinos make most of their money. What would the bid, if you're successful, what will it enable you to do that you can't do now?
Sure, it's a transformational project that enables us, first of all, to become a true commercial casino. And that means adding table games, which also means a lot of jobs for the property. But more than that, we're going to add, we'll be up to 2,000 hotel rooms. We want to build a 7,000-seat arena, a day club, meeting and convention space, and really turn Resorts World into a true destination resort.
Yeah, who would be going to that destination in your vision? It's notable, and I know a lot of my viewers see it the same way I do, which is when you're coming back from JFK Airport.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, we have our local audience, and that'll be Queens and Brooklyn and all 5 boroughs and the greater metropolitan area in New York, but being situated right across from JFK. Today, we have a 400-room Hyatt Regency hotel at the property. We get a lot of travelers that like to stay either at the front end or the back end of their visit. So we're going to hope to have meeting and convention customers, tourists that want to come out to Queens for whether it's the U.S. Open or any of the great events that are out in the borough.
A $5.5 billion investment is what's being proposed. What exactly would that go to?
That goes to a complete transformation of the Aqueduct site. I mentioned we have a Hyatt Regency now, 400 rooms. We need to add 1,600 rooms. We want to get up to 2,000 because that's what we feel would be the critical mass necessary to truly be that destination resort we want to be. Add more casino space, 30 different food and beverage opportunities within the building. Meeting and convention space is very important. Brand new parking garage. We'll have a parking capability up to 7,000 spots. So it's a complete redevelopment of the site, very transformational.
I noticed that you're going to have a training center because these are jobs that up till now haven't really been available in New York, being croupier or a dealer and so forth. Explain a little bit about that. What kind of jobs will be available and how you're going to get people ready for them?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, today we announced that we're opening up a career center up right by Jamaica Station. That will open on September 16th, along with a new program that's an introduction to the dealer experience. We want people to be able to come over to the property and learn what it's like to get involved with the casino games. But in reality, we have virtually every career in our building: accounting, finance, IT, security, hotel, food and beverage. And so hopefully there's a career for everyone. And of course, we've got to get a huge addition to the workforce. We're going to go from 1,000 current employees to a total of 5,000 permanent jobs. So we'll be looking for 4,000 of your closest friends to join us.
And you've mentioned that in part because you're already on the ground. To a certain extent, you'd be kind of flipping a switch or just doing more of or expanding on what you're already permitted to do.
And absolutely, one of the keys to our proposal is in fact speed to market. We are fully permitted. July 25th, we got our final approval on our final environmental impact statement. We have the building permit. So literally, the day after we get the license, we can begin work on doing the transformation. And by July of next year, we're up and running with the very first phase of this new project.
What are locals in the community saying? I mean, you've been there for 15 years, so if people had a problem, I guess they would have raised it by now, but what kind of response are you getting locally?
We're getting great response locally. You know, we were very careful to listen to the local community during the design development process. As a matter of fact, some folks within Community Board 10 helped us design the open space for the project. There's a lot of seniors that live out in our area. They felt that it was hard to maneuver for pedestrians, and so they helped us actually redesign it. We're going to have up to 12 acres of open space, and we created new walkways that'll traverse the perimeter of the property, and so you can safely go from the neighborhood over to the A train. And that's just one of the ways that we collaborated with the local community.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that. I mean, you're on the A train line, right? So you'll have some, I guess, enhanced access to the subway?
We actually have a direct connection into the building. So anyway, and then of course you can come from anywhere in New York and get there on the A train, and then the A train keeps going right to Howard Beach Station, so you can connect there and get right to JFK.
Something that I know is not necessarily required in your application, but something I've done some research on and been concerned about, which is so-called problem gamblers, people who bet more than they should and get mixed up in all kinds of other sort of problems. It's a medical syndrome as much as anything else. What kind of provisions do you make to prevent people from doing that kind of harm to themselves and their families? I
am so glad that you asked this question. This is a very serious topic. But you know, it starts with, first of all, admitting that you're actually in the casino business. So we don't shy away from this at all. We worked with the state when we first came on the scene in New York to help develop very robust programs to address the issue of problem gambling. I'll give you one example. We have problem gambling resource centers at all 3 of our casinos in New York, where somebody can go in, they can see a video, they can sign up for a voluntary exclusion program. We are not mental health professionals, but our job is to make sure that anyone who might have a problem, we can direct them to the appropriate resource so they can get help. Anyone who has an issue with it, we don't want them into the casino. We want them to be home safe and sound and not being in the building.
And yeah, say a word about that voluntary exclusion. You can basically sign up and say, don't let me in here. I just don't believe I should be in this kind of a setting.
Absolutely. And not only that, when you sign up, say at Resorts World, you're also excluding yourself from all the casinos within New York, because it wouldn't do much good if you left one and then went to another one. Matter of fact, we're working with the Oasis Group, the Office of Addiction and Services, to try to see if we can actually make that process even easier. The Gaming Commission right now has a way to do it online, but we'd like to make it such that, you know, with the new improvements in AI, that somebody would literally be able to get their mobile phone and sign up for an exclusion. We want people to get the help that they need.
Right.
And we also train our employees. Every single employee every year is trained how to potentially spot if somebody might be having a problem, because at the end of the day, we've got 1,000 people in that building that are our eyes and ears. And if we can help get somebody to the resources they need, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. What are the next steps, and who do you consider your biggest competitor? Everybody, by the way, that we've talked to seems to assume that you guys are going to get approved, but I don't know how you feel about it. I'd love to hear that.
So the next step is we're right now going through the Community Advisory Committee process. They will vote by September 30th. And if we are lucky enough to move on to the next round, it goes then to the siting board. They're going to make those decisions by December, and then ultimately the Gaming Commission will decide by the end of the year. As far as the competitors, I've seen all the projects now. They're all interesting and good projects. Of course, I'm biased, and I think ours is the best for the state, especially because what we're offering and how the speed to market, and we can provide the funds, the resources, and the jobs that New York really needs quicker than anybody else. And I think that makes our project a standout.
Okay. Best of luck to you. We'll continue to watch as we go to the next phase. Thanks a whole lot.
Thank you so much for having me on.